concept of reading strategies might sound funny to you, since you've had to read for most of your classes for the majority of your life. But hey, that means you're probably pretty used to it. The best way to get ahead on this testing section is to learn what type of passages you should expect to see on the test and practice actively reading about those subjects. Now, let's get into some details. You'll have 35 minutes to answer 40 questions. On average, you should spend 8 minutes and 45 seconds reading and answering the 10 questions for each passage. Set your watch and make sure to stay on schedule so that you make it through all of the passages. Here, you'll find 4 passages, each with about 750 words, followed by 10 multiple-choice questions. They're divided into prose fiction, social science, humanities, and natural science, and they'll occur in that order. No tricks here. So what does all that mean for you? The prose fiction passage will most likely be an excerpt from a novel or short story, similar to something you may have read in English class. The social science passage will be about anthropology, business, economics, history, political science, psychology, or sociology. The humanities passage will focus on works of art, memoirs, music, literary criticism, or philosophy. Natural science passages will cover subject areas such as astronomy, biology, botany, chemistry, ecology, geology, physics, or technology. While the passage topics do come in the specific order I just mentioned, the questions that follow each passage will be shuffled around. But you don't need to be thrown off when you see questions that don't follow the logical order of the text in the passage. Even though the ACT writers have shuffled them around, you can refer back to the passage as often as necessary. The ACT has recently introduced something new to the reading test. One of the 4 passages will be a double passage. You'll be asked to answer questions that pertain to both passages, which can be confusing because you may have already forgotten some of the material in the first passage by the time you've read through the second passage. You can outsmart the test with this 3-step strategy. Start by reading the first passage and answer all the questions related to it. Skip anything that pertains to passage 2. Then read passage 2 and answer only questions relating to passage 2. Finally, you'll be left with questions that pertain to both, which shouldn't be too tricky since by now you're well versed in both. Background knowledge about the subjects in the passages might help you out here, but it's definitely not necessary. Aside from taking practice tests, the best way to prepare for this section is to read as much as you can. Yes, status updates count, but Poe, Dickens, or Twain might be the best way to go.